study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Your boss turns to you mid-meeting and says, "What's your take on this?" And your brain just stops. We've all been there. And every piece of advice you've ever heard, like just be confident or take a deep breath, it's completely useless when that adrenaline hits. You don't need a pep talk. You need a switch to flip. And that's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to Speaking with Confidence, the podcast that helps you build the soft skills that lead to real results. Communication, storytelling, public speaking, and showing up with confidence in every conversation that counts. I'm Tim Newman, a recovering college professor turned communication coach, and I'm thrilled to guide you on a journey to becoming a powerful communicator. Let's be clear about something first. You don't freeze because you're not smart. You don't freeze because you don't know your stuff. You freeze because of what's called cognitive overload. Your boss asks a question, and suddenly 100 possible answers, facts, opinions, and fears all fire at once. It's like having 20 browser tabs open, and someone asks you for one specific file. You can't find it. Not because it's not there, but because there's no filter, no system. So most people do the only thing they can think of. They wing it. They start talking and hope the right words arrange themselves on the way out. And that's how you get rambling, jargon-filled answers that trail off into, yeah. The solution isn't knowing more. It's having a filter. And that's what ACEs is. It's a mental checklist you run through in the 2 seconds after a question lands. It doesn't give you the answers. It tells your brain exactly where to look for them. Audience, content, expectations, and script. And by the time you get to S, you're not searching for words anymore. You're just filling the structure. Let's go through each one. A is for audience, the one step that everyone skips. And this is where people go wrong immediately. The second a question is asked, your instinct is to think, what do I want to say? Your brain races straight to your knowledge, your opinion, or your clever point. And that's the trap. The very first filter isn't about content.
Growing a successful business has never been easy. But whether you're navigating a complex industry or trying to reinvent one, our breadth of banking experts are here to collaborate on market-proven solutions. At KeyBank, we're built to grow with your changing needs because we're not just here for the business you are now, we're here for the business you'll become. Reimagine business as usual. KeyBank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.
It's about them. Before you form a single sentence, ask yourself, who is actually asking me this question right now? Who am I responding to? Do a lightning fast mental scan. Is this your direct boss? The senior VP? A colleague from another department? An external client? What's their role? What's actually at stake for them in this moment? Your answer to your engineer teammate about a technical delay should sound completely different from your answer to a non-technical CEO about the same delay. For your teammate, the stake is solving the problem. You dive into details. For the CEO, the stake is timeline and risk. So you talk about impact and next steps. That one switch from what I know to what they need immediately shapes your next thought. And here's the bonus. It calms your nerves. Because now you're not trying to perform, you're solving a puzzle for a specific person. The most common failure here is jargon with a non-technical audience. You think you sound smart. You're just creating confusion. If the person asking can't follow you, it doesn't matter how accurate you are, you missed. So the audience step forces you to translate. And that's your secret weapon. Because while everyone else is starting with, you've already cut the field in half. Now, C is for content. And for all you Sesame Street people, C is not for cookie today. C is for content. Okay, now you've nailed audience. You know exactly who you're talking to. Your brain is still buzzing with a dozen different points you could make. And this is the second wall. Information overload. You have so much to say that you end up saying nothing very clearly. It's like trying to point out one star by describing the entire constellation. But the fix here is brutally simple. And since C is for content, it's governed by the one thing rule. Ask yourself, what is the single most important piece of information this person needs right now? Not 3 things, not even 2. 1. Your entire response gets built around anchoring that one core idea. There's a reason starting with the main thing is so powerful. It doesn't just help them. It forces you to commit to a thesis before you open your mouth, which stops the rambling before it even starts.
This episode is brought to you by Viore. Mother's Day is all about celebrating the woman who does it all. So give her something as effortless as her love. Viore's ultra soft joggers, lightweight leggings, and everyday layers are made for everything from movement to rest. Pieces she'll reach for again and again. Get 20% off your first order at viore.com/Mother's Day. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
So here's a real example. Your boss asks for a quick status update on a project. You could talk about completed tasks, upcoming deadlines, minor blockers, team morale, whatever. That's a surefire way to watch their eyes glaze over. Instead, run it through the audience lens first. If your boss cares more about timeline risk, your one thing might be, we're on track to meet the deadline, but we've hit a snag with vendor approvals. Everything else you say supports that one point. And here, you're not hiding information, you're leading with what matters most. And that's the difference between a scattered brain dump and a focused professional answer. Now, E is for expectations. And here's where you got to think, what do they actually want? And so now you've got your audience locked in and your content distilled down to one powerful point. But there's a hidden trap that can still blow up even the most focused answer. And this is misaligned expectations. And you can deliver the perfect piece of information and still completely miss the mark because it wasn't what the person was actually asking for. Since E is for expectations, and this is the step that's about diagnosing the hidden intent that's actually behind the question. And here's the thing. People rarely spell out what they want. Almost every surprise question falls into one of 3 different buckets. 1, they want information. 2, they want your opinion. Or 3, they want you to propose an action. The danger is giving an opinion when they just want the facts, or listing facts when they're asking for a recommendation. I've watched people torpedo their credibility by passionately arguing a point when the boss simply just wanted to know if a report had been filed. So right after you pinpoint your one thing, run a quick silent diagnostic. Is this question about what happened, what I think, or what we should do? The wording usually gives it away. If they say, what's the status? It's almost always about information. Or what's your take is your opinion. Or if they say, how should we proceed? It's about action. So align your response type with that unspoken need and you start to sound incredibly sharp. Not because you said something brilliant, but because you answered what they were actually asking. And the S, this is for script. So now you've done the mental scan, you know your audience, and you've got your one piece of content. You've aligned with their expectations. Now comes the last step. turning all of that into a coherent sentence.
Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, bringing you an expanding library of education with even more ways to sharpen your trading skills. Access new online courses, insightful webcasts, articles, engaging videos, and more, all curated just for traders. Plus, guided learning paths with content designed to fit your unique interests. No sifting to find exactly what you need, so you can spend your time learning to trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
Out loud. This is not about memorizing lines. It's about having a simple go-to structure your thoughts can flow into, so you don't default to and also. The structure is basically 4 words: point, reason, example, and action. Start by stating your one thing clearly. That's your point. The main thing is we're on track, but we've hit a snag with vendor approvals. Then immediately give the reason why that matters. That's important because it could push our testing phase back a week. Next, anchor it with a specific example. For instance, we're still waiting on security sign-off from vendor X, which was due yesterday. And finally, end it with an action. So I'm calling the project lead right after this meeting to escalate. This works because it creates natural, logical momentum. You're not listing facts. You're telling a micro story with a conclusion, and it forces clean transition between your ideas, which kills the rambling instinct dead. The best way to build this muscle is not in a high-stakes meeting. It's in low-stakes practice. Take like when you're driving, making coffee, or walking the dog. Take a random topic and talk it through using point, reason, example, and action out loud. It may feel ridiculous, but do it anyway. Because you're wiring a pathway so that when the pressure hits, the structure is just there, waiting for your filtered thoughts to fill in. That's it. That's ACEs. Audience, content, expectations, and script. It's a 10-second mental scan you run between the question and your answer. It turns panic into process. And your challenge this week is simple. Try it once in a low-stakes conversation. Say a friend asks your opinion on a movie, or a coworker asks about your weekend. Just run ACEs. That's how you build the muscle memory, so it's automatic when your boss puts you on the spot in front of the whole room. That's all for today. Remember, we're looking for progress, not perfection. Be sure to visit speakingwithconfidencepodcast.com to get your free ebook, The Top 21 Challenges for Public Speakers and How to Overcome Them. You can also register for the Forming for Public Speaking course. Always remember, your voice has the power to change the world. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.
Meet the new iSIMS, the single talent acquisition platform that's fully future-ready. It works wherever and however you hire, with insights no one else offers. One solution that fits seamlessly into your existing tech stack, which is why IT and HR leaders trust it. With the best of enterprise-grade software and AI, iSIMS helps you identify and secure the right talent faster. iSIMS, powering exceptional hiring. Learn more at isims.com.
Looking for the best place to shop this Mother's Day? Go with the brand that makes it easy to send something thoughtful to everyone on your list. 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now at 1-800-Flowers, order 1 dozen roses and get another dozen free. More flowers mean more smiles, all backed by the quality, attention to detail, and trusted delivery experience that make 1-800-Flowers my top choice to send something beautiful Mom will love. Make Mom's Day at 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify.